basically, I'm starting to try and make some new shoes of a basic Viking style. These are an old pair that were donated to myself, but as you can see, stitching's been basically wearing away. So the idea was, very carefully, if I remove some bits here, to take it apart and use it as a template for a new set of shoes. So out of some larger pieces of leather, I've cut 2 elements out, and I've started literally by punching the holes that are required to put everything together. And earlier in the day, I can only get up to a certain point because they have to be folded inside out. They've dried out too much to allow me to actually fold them out again. So I'm just leaving it at this stage. But you can see here how this has been stitched with some linen, cotton, and some using the wax as well to help it travel freely through the leather. And basically I've just sewn it up into its basic shape. The top hasn't been sewn yet because obviously that's done as the next stage, for the top of the foot. So that's literally what I'm starting now on the second part of the shoe, so that I've got them more or less ready before going in for a soak. I will soak them for a few hours until they're supple enough for me then to turn them inside out without putting too much strain on any of the cotton, because there's always the risk that it could snap otherwise, especially when it's as dry and tough as it is here. So the next stage for me is actually to start taking the toes together, stitching the new shoe together.
So what's the lifespan then of a pair like that? Well, if you were wearing them every day?
These are 3 years old now.
Oh, wow.
There's plenty of life left in them at this stage. Obviously, if you're using them on harder surfaces, then you've got more of an issue because you're going to get cuts through. You can see cuts and scrapes that you do get. But I mean, bearing in mind that they are usually used on mud, soils and on the grass, they're extremely comfortable, and they will actually last, quite a decent amount of time. So, I'm actually contemplating taking the stitching out, restitching it, and using them again. So
on that pair, it's just the stitching that's gone, is it?
It's just the stitching that went. So all I've done, so that I had another shoe, another pair. So if the same happens to a pair, I've got another one to fall back into. Basically,
so you can just switch.
So I can switch. Yeah, absolutely, I can switch between the two. All I need to do is restitch this all back up, obviously other way around, and then flick it back through. But I will have the same shoe as I've got here again, just new stitching. And I mean, the leather's perfectly good. It looks older and worn, but I mean, that's tough leather. It will last. So I would hope another 3 years out of even this old
And you say they're comfortable to wear?
Very comfortable, very comfortable. I would say if you're wearing them on a hard surface, I would possibly put another leather sole in there just to give a little bit more rigidity underneath, and no problem at all. They're really very good, very comfortable.